Wonderful parents, I have a question for you. Have you ever found yourself shouting at your kids and constantly regretting it? Guess what? You're not alone. Parenting can push us to our limits. But what if there were better ways to handle those tough moments? In today's video, we're diving into why we yell and, more importantly, how to stop it. So, please stick around because a calmer, happier home is just a few steps away. If you're visiting for the first time, I'm Dr. Taniesha Burke and welcome to our channel. Now, if you're not a subscriber, we encourage you to subscribe because with your subscription, you help us to get into the algorithm so that more parents around the world can get access or knowledge of our channel. As parents, we all thrive to raise our children in a nurturing and supportive environment. However, there are times when the stress of daily life combined with the challenges of parenting can lead us to raise our voices more often than we would like. If you find yourself yelling at your children and feeling guilty about it, you're not alone. Understanding why we yell and the strategies to manage these moments can help us create a calmer and more positive home. Before we get into solutions and alternatives to yelling, it's important to understand why we usually yell at our children. So grab a pen and paper and make some notes and also reflect on your relationship with your children. And as we give you the reason, ask yourself, is this one of the reasons why I yell at my child? And make a note of the reasons that you yell and then see how you can integrate the solutions into your parenting. The first reason we yell is that we feel stressed and overwhelmed. Balancing work, home responsibilities, and parenting can be overwhelming. When stress levels peak, our patience can wear thin, making yelling a more likely response. The second reason is that we have unmet needs. Often, our outbursts stems from our own unmet needs, such as lack of sleep, insufficient self-care, or feeling unsupported. When our own needs are neglected, we have less emotional reserve to handle parenting challenges calmly. Another reason we yell is immediate reaction. Yelling can be an immediate response to perceived misbehavior or disobedience. It's a way to quickly grab attention and assert authority, though it's not always the most effective method. Another reason we yell is because it's a learned behavior. Many of us were raised in environments where yelling was a common form of communication. We might unconsciously replicate these patterns with our children. The fifth and final reason why we yell is because we desire to have control. In moments of chaos, yelling can feel like a way to gain control of the situation. However, it often leads to more resistance and less cooperation from our children. Now that you know 5 primary reasons why we may be yelling at our children, it is time to find solutions. So we're going to look at alternative ways of responding to our children so that we don't damage our relationship with them by yelling at them when something goes wrong. Our first solution is to practice mindfulness. Taking a moment to pause and breathe before responding can help us gain composure. Mindfulness techniques such as deep breathing or counting to 10 can prevent immediate reactions and allow us to approach the situation more calmly. The second solution is to identify triggers. Understanding what specific situations or behaviors trigger your yelling can help you anticipate and prepare for them. Keeping a journal of these moments can provide insights into patterns that help you develop proactive strategies. It's also important to set realistic expectations. Recognize that children are still learning and developing. Setting age-appropriate expectations and being patient with their learning process can reduce frustration and the impulse to yell. Communicating clearly is also important. Use clear, concise language to communicate with your children. Explain your expectations and the reasons behind them. Positive reinforcement and praise for good behavior can also encourage cooperation without the need for yelling. This is very important and so many of us neglect it, and that is to take care of yourself. Prioritize self-care to ensure you are physically and emotionally well. Adequate sleep, healthy eating, and regular exercise can significantly impact your mood and patience levels. The sixth solution to yelling is to ensure that you seek support. Parenting can be challenging and it's okay to ask for help, whether it's seeking advice from friends, joining parenting groups, or consulting with a therapist. Having a support system can make a big difference. As parents, it's also important to apologize and model. When you do yell, acknowledge it and apologize to your child. This models accountability and teaches them that everyone makes mistakes. Explain what happened and how you plan to handle similar situations better in the future. The eighth alternative to yelling is to make sure that you use alternative methods. Instead of yelling or trying to discipline, try, for example, collaborating with your child to find solutions, or allow them to experience natural consequences during instances when it's safe to do so. These methods can be effective in teaching lessons without raising your voice. And the final solution that we will cover today to do instead of yelling is to build a positive relationship. Spend quality time with your children and build a strong positive relationship. A foundation of trust and respect can reduce the frequency of conflicts and improve cooperation. So before we conclude, let's do a quick recap. Why do we yell? We yell because we're stressed and overwhelmed. We have unmet needs. We have an immediate reaction. It's a learned behavior. Or we desire to have control. As you look at these, evaluate your responses to your children. And once you realize which one of these your behavior fall into, you're then better able to select the solution that works best for your family. Parenting is a journey filled with highs and lows, and it's important to be kind to yourself along the way. Reducing yelling doesn't happen overnight, but with patience and consistent effort, it is possible to create a more peaceful home environment. Remember, the goal is not to be a perfect parent, but a loving and mindful one. By understanding the reasons behind our reactions and implementing effective strategies, we can foster a nurturing space where our children can thrive. We're now at the end of our video, and we do hope that you now have a better understanding of why you yell at your children, and most importantly, that you have positive parenting strategies to help you overcome this reactive behavior. We would love to hear from you, so do leave your comments in the comments section. And again, if you think this video will benefit a friend or family member, do send it to them. Thank you so much for viewing. Until next time, bye for now.